What is up guys, and welcome to a new series where I use money making guides from the OSRS Wiki. If you guys enjoy this idea, I'll definitely make more and try to run through every single one of these on the list, no matter how ridiculous they might be. I'll be trying and testing out these money makers to see how accurate they are so you don't have to. Let's get into the video. So for the second video in the series, I thought I'd do something with a little bit more requirements. Today we'll be fishing dark crabs for 1 hour. Now, to do this, you're going to need 85 fishing, and I highly recommend that you have the Wilderness Elite Diary done. Now, the Wilderness Elite Diary unlocks a bunch of cool stuff, but what we want here is the increased dark crab catch rate and free entry to the resource area where we will be catching the dark crabs. Obviously, you can catch dark crabs without the diary, but it's really worth it to have the Elite Diary done if you're going to use this method for money making or experience. So let's talk about the inventory setup that I have right now. I bring 3 Cerebrews, 1 Super Restore, 3 Sharks, a Lobster Pot, some sort of slash weapon, flowers, dark fishing bait, lockpick, and some coins. Now, the Cerebrews and Sharks are, of course, if you get attacked by PKers, because this is in the wilderness and it is in high level wilderness, so the supplies are just to hold out in case you get attacked. Luckily I didn't get attacked the entire time that I was here, but this is just in case. The Cerebrews are your main source of food, and then the Sharks is so that you can combo eat if you get specced out. So if somebody comes in flying with an AGS and hits you for like a 70, you can eat the shark and the brew at the same time to heal a lot more food. So don't use the shark unless you get hit a big number, that way you can heal more. And of course the Super Restore is just to restore your prayer so you don't get smited, even though I only brought 3 expensive items. You could bring a 4th expensive item, but if you get smited you risk that item, so I wouldn't risk it. The next item we have is of course the Lobster Pot. You use that to catch the dark crabs. We also have a slash weapon, that is to get to this area. So if you pull the lever in Edgeville, it'll take you to the wilderness here, and you need a slash weapon to get through the web. So I bring the Wilderness Sword 4 since it's free, it doesn't cost me anything. The flowers are going to be your escape route if you get attacked by a PKer, and I will explain the escape route later on in the video. The dark fishing bait is what we'll be using to catch the dark crabs, and the lockpick is also part of the escape route, which I will explain later on. The coins are for noting the dark crabs. Piles in the wilderness resource training area will note your dark crabs for a small fee. That about explains the inventory that I was using, so now I can explain what gear I brought with me. The gear that I brought was a Serpentine Helm, Amulet of Defense, Rada's Blessing 4, Black D-Hide, Ruined Boots, Ring of Suffering, Black D-Hide Vambraces, Din's Bulwark, and the Zamorak Cape. The 3 expensive items that I brought were the Din's Bulwark, Serpentine Helm, and of course the Ring of Suffering. Now, the Din's Bulwark provides great defense bonuses, which is why I chose it. The Serpentine Helm gives you immunity against venom, which is very important because a lot of PKers like to use the toxic staff. And then of course the Ring of Suffering I brought just because of its high defense bonuses. But honestly, you can bring whatever gear setup you can afford. The Black D-Hide is very cheap, and that's honestly a very big part of this defense setup. And as for the supplies used during this run, the dark fishing bait is very cheap, and the Lobster Pot was also cheap. So we'll calculate the exact amount that I used at the end so we can see the total profit from fishing for 1 hour at dark crab. And as you can see here, we are approaching the end of the video, so now I can explain to you the escape setup if you get attacked by PKers. Now first I'll explain the prayers that I used. I used Protect Item, Augury, and Protect from Melee. The reason I used Protect from Melee is because if you weren't fortunate enough to log out before the PKer froze you, more than likely the next hit is going to be from a spec weapon, usually an AGS or Dragon Claws. So that's why I use Protect from Melee. But anyways, if you get attacked, you're going to run over here and use your pick lock on this little area right here that contains axes. Hopefully they won't have a pick lock and they won't be able to get in there, but if they do, this is where you switch to your flowers and you start attacking the magic axes. Now by this point you'll more than likely be brewed down because you were, tanking the freezes and whatnot. And when you're brewed down, your attack stats are lowered greatly. The flowers already give you a nice negative bonus, so that plus the brewed down stats, you won't hit at all. You'll be hitting zeros. Here I hit because I wasn't brewed down, but when you're brewed down, you won't be hitting or you shouldn't be hitting. And just in case, you can take off the helmet in case you do hit, because the helmet actually venoms the axe, and if they die, then they can tag you again. The PKers can tag you again. So I would just switch to the flowers, maybe take off the helmet, and if you're brewed down, you shouldn't hit anything. And again, if you're not brewed down, then just drink while you're fighting the axes, and the PKers should leave you alone. Oh, and the reason that I was using the Augury Prayer was because it actually gives you a nice magic defense bonus, so you'll actually be able to tank Ice Barrage more often, more frequently. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Now we can finally sell the Dart Crabs that we got. I'm putting them in there just for the regular market price to see if they sell, and more than likely they're not going to, so I believe I lowered it by 1 GP and then just let them sit there, and eventually they sold. So after 1 hour of fishing Dart Crabs, the loot that we get is just around 380k GP. And we also got a clue scroll, or a clue bottle, so that was nice too. I also managed to get about 44k fishing XP, so honestly this isn't a bad moneymaker and training method for fishing. It's very AFK, it is in the wilderness, but most of the time there's not people there, and if there are people there, it's pretty easy to escape. Now, to calculate the entire profit we made from this 1 hour, we can take the 346 pieces of dark bait that we used at 5 GP each, giving us a total of 1730, and then we add the lobster pot at 550, giving us a total of 2280. And if we add the amount we spent on noting the Dart Crabs, it gives us a total cost of 19,000 GP, and we can subtract that from 380,000 to give us a final profit of 361,520 coins. And not only that, but we also got 44k in fishing XP during this hour. That's not that bad for an AFK method. I just want to say thanks for watching the video, and once again, if you guys have any ideas for moneymakers that you want me to try out, just leave a comment down below and I will make it my mission to get a video out there for each and every comment. The last video that I made on moneymakers, picking bananas for 1 hour, actually got a lot of positive feedback, so if you guys, again, want to see more, just give the video a thumbs up, maybe subscribe. And don't forget to follow me on Twitch. I'm currently pet hunting for Vorky right now, and more than likely my next loot video will be a Vorkath video, so be on the lookout for that. And if you want to follow me on the journey, give me a follow over there. That's it for this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.